Well, Congress still not able to come to an agreement over a budget. My next guest says we have a moral imperative to pay our debts. And joining me now is Lanny Davis, former presidential assistant, former special counsel to President William Jefferson Clinton. Good to have you with us, sir.
Hi, Lou. For a liberal Democrat like me, that sounds like conservative talk, whoever wrote that.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to take an opportunity here for true bipartisanship. An arch liberal and an independent like me, and try to reason through this thing. The Democrats wouldn't pass a budget for 2011 last year, controlling the House, the Senate, and the White House. What should we expect given Republican control of the House this year and meeting the issue head on midway through the fiscal year?
Well, I'm sorry to say I'm a very loyal and quite partisan liberal Democrat, and I am not proud of my party in Congress, and I'm really not proud of any of us around the country who aren't endorsing the Simpson-Bowles Commission reality of looking at our national debt and doing something about it. And the Republicans are even more hypocritical because they're supposed to be the conservative party. So this is one of those moments, Lou, where people who are straight talking will blame both parties equally.
Yeah, and I think that there's no question. I mean, a gasp of disappointment rising from the Tea Party movement as Budget Committee Chairman Paul Ryan came forward with his initial, if I may use the expression, lowball judgment about how much should be cut from the 2011 budget. Another gasp coming from the Republican leadership when Tea Party movement star Senator Rand Paul came forward with a $500 billion proposal. Does a compromise lie somewhere between those two, or is one extreme or the other the preferred approach in your judgment?
Well, actually, I think both approaches are wrong, and that's why I refer to the very courageous report of Alan Simpson and Erskine Bowles, endorsed by 60% of a commission, including Senator Coburn and Senator Durbin, a conservative and a liberal. They don't just talk about spending cuts. That's easy for conservatives. And liberals like me don't like spending cuts that hurt people who are especially vulnerable in a very bad economy. You've got to do both cut spending and increase taxes. And that's what Bill Clinton did in 1993 without one Republican vote. And he took a $300 billion deficit, and he left office with a $1 trillion surplus with a lot of help from Republicans, and I give them the credit working with Bill Clinton to do that. But that's not what we're seeing today. Neither will it be done through cuts alone, nor will it be done by raising taxes. It's got to be both.
Give me an amount, and then we'll talk about how we get there. Give me the amount first with the 2011 budget, because that's the unfinished business from a year ago that we need to complete here. Give me the number.
To go off my theme that we ought to do both and follow what
No,
Alan
I don't want you to go off your theme, but I just want to address one thing at a time.
Right now, the immediate need is a budget. And to get that budget through, I think the number is somewhere, as I see the lineup between Democrats and Republicans, at about $30 billion. I think that Senator Schumer has now gone to that number, which is a number that Paul Ryan said was satisfactory, but the right of the House Republican caucus, the so-called Tea Party folks who I certainly respect, want $100 billion or much higher than that $30 billion. And in this economy, to cut that much money that quickly, I think Paul Ryan had it right, and there can be a deal somewhere in that neighborhood. Democrats, as you've read in the paper, Lou, are going to have to help the Republicans get that through because they can't hold their own caucus because of the political right wing in their caucus.
The political right wing, their caucus, the left wing, which wants to maintain the current size of the federal government. It's pretty clear to many people, at least, if not most, that the November 2nd, 2010 election was about the size of government, about the way in which we continue to sponsor a federal government that many view as simply out of control. To add taxes to that in the midst of this discussion on what is a spending crisis, it seems, well, if not unthinkable, impractical, at least politically.
Well, look, I agree it's certainly impractical politically, and it's a hard thing to do in the middle of a bad economy. I think that Bowles and Simpson, I hope you've read it, Lou.
Of course.
Phase this in starting in about 2014 when we come out of the recession. But you are going to have to increase the revenue stream. You are going to have to add new kinds of taxes in order to close what is now a $13-14 trillion national debt. You're not going to get there by spending cuts alone, nor are you going to reform entitlements and Social Security just by raising taxes. We're going to have to do something about entitlements as well.
No question. It's going to take real guts, and people are going to have to come together first on the principles involved, the size, the scale, and the scope of the federal government and what its role shall be in our lives, both in terms of entitlements and and our daily activities. Lanny Davis, always good to talk with you. I hope you'll come back. We'll continue the conversation. Lanny Davis.
Thank you.